New at 7 tonight, state lawmakers have just voted to restrict your access to certain cold and allergy medications. The Indiana House approved such a bill, although some opponents have complained the proposal will be a big inconvenience for many years. RTV6 reporter Norma Cox has both sides of the argument.
The House approved the bill, putting additional restrictions on purchases of products containing ephedrine and pseudoephedrine, with sponsors calling it a balancing act that protects the rights of law-abiding consumers while making it harder for criminals to obtain the building blocks used to make crystal meth. The bill will restrict Hoosiers to what's calculated as an 8-month supply of those drugs yearly. After that, you'd need a prescription. It will be tracked by your driver's license when you buy the products. Sponsors say it will help prevent people from buying the drugs in small quantities, then reselling them to meth lab owners who will turn them into illegal drugs. The bill's sponsor called meth a scourge.
The main ingredient for this is a very legitimate substance that is purchased by people all the time to use for very good purposes. And while we're trying to make sure that we don't let this thing get out of control, we don't want to put penalties on individuals who need this on a regular basis.
But opponents have criticized the bill as a needless intrusion, especially since children who don't have driver's licenses will have their purchases tracked on their parents' driver's licenses, cutting mom and dad down below the 8-month level. But the medical profession has endorsed the bill, largely because it doesn't do what it really feared, which was to make those allergy drugs prescription only.
We got to start thinking, instead of a state, we've got to start thinking regionally. I live in Vincennes, Indiana. From my garage, it's less than a 5-minute drive to the nearest pharmacy in Illinois. That has a completely different structure than we have, that has a completely different tracking system that we have.
The House approved the bill 91-1. At the State House, I'm Norman Cox, RTV6.
The bill now goes back to the Senate, which must decide whether to approve amendments made in the House.